Good morning, good evening, good night. It's your boy Evolutionary Night. Hey, shout out to SoCal Stallion. I appreciate you, man, for letting me know my music was too loud. Appreciate you leaving a comment and helping me out there. I don't edit my videos, and I probably need to. Probably need to start listening to them before I upload them, but it is what it is at this point. All right, so we're going to take a look at my account and see where I'm currently at. I did this prior before a character tier list for what I use, how often I used, why I use them, so forth and so on. So I figured I'd jump into it again. We see we're making good progress. This morning, I maxed out my Leo. I got into the Maxed Immortal, so I'm very happy about that. And he is currently, I want to say 29 exclusive. So all my red chips now will get pushed into Leo so we can get him maxed out so he can push my content even further. All right. So, it's almost in the order that it's in now as far as triple S characters as we go down the list. But number one above all, if I had to say, okay, this is the best triple S in the game for my account right now is, man, it's a tie between Leo and Bailey. So I'm kind of stuck because I've had Leo for a short period of time, and Bailey rolled with me from the beginning. I put out and got to Bailey. Bailey has been remarkable in PvP. If you watched any of my PvP videos, you can recall I used to always call it the Bailey dance. Whoever got the last hit as Bailey normally would win in the top tiers of PvP. And then you have the Leo who comes in, and Leo just changed the game because you still have the Bailey dance, right? Bailey's bouncing around and doing damage, but at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, Leo is going to defeat your Bailey, right? One spin, Bailey's sleep. He puts Bailey to bed. So in PvP, Leo shines to me greater. He just remarkable. It's some instances where Leo get into a situation, and Leo's able to wipe the entire team. I'm talking just wipe them because he's just in that situation with the spin, the immunity, and the heal. He's just remarkable. So Leo takes the edge in PvP, but Bailey is still up there. The combination is remarkable. The combination of the two in higher tier PvP is critical in progression or maintaining the top levels. I'm currently I remain number 4. I creep into number 3. But I'm definitely in the top 10 of PvPers on my server in a 4. And right now, most top teams, if not all, have a Bailey Leo combo. They're just critical at the top. So they're neck and neck with these two. Leo gets the edge because in story mode, Leo is just remarkable. It's instances where you'll watch some of the content creators that are making content that it's a single healer Leo progressing their account because Leo's at 30, exclusive 30. His gears all, he's just a monster. He's just a beast character. If you're looking for progression and you're looking to push through story mode and things like that, and you're also looking for PvP, the edge just has to go to Leo. Leo can tank for you. He'll put out the most damage for you, and he'll just be remarkable. So Leo, when we do, I guess you do the tier list or whatever, and they have the tiers. Leo's the S+. He's in a league of his own based on his abilities. His leech ability, his lifesteal ability is one of the best abilities in game, in my opinion, and that just sets him apart, right? I'm not even the lifesteal, the immunity to death plus the lifesteal. The combination is the best in the game. You're not getting any better than that. If you are free to play and you're pushing your account, that's definitely one that would be worth pushing in there, in my opinion. Let's take a look now. Definitely Bailey, right? Bailey is when it comes to damage, the ability to jump around, get in the back line, the combination of Goodyear, leadership, the bubbles, the stuns. Bailey is bar none the best, right? He's an assassin. He gets in the back line. He's messing with the healers. He's messing with the backline troops in story mode, so forth and so on. Just the best at what he does. There is no comparison in the assassin realm. In the triple S realm, there is a character that I put on the same tier with him, right? And that's this man here. You know, Daniel is a monster. He's built different. I enjoy playing with Daniel. I don't have him in the best equipment. I don't have him fully exclusive yet. I see he's at 22. The guy is different. Stuns, summons, damage. This is what he puts out. This is what he brings to the table. He brings everything that your Bailey is putting to the table. He's able to get in the back line. He isn't as fluid and he isn't as consistent and mobile as Bailey. But if you set your team up properly, this man will put out the damage, continue to stun, and do all the work that Bailey's doing, plus giving you summons, so forth and so on. Now, when you come to the synergy of the team, let's check this out in story mode real quick. When we look at the synergy of the team, right, the main synergy is based off of this man here, right? Let me move myself out of the way there. Oops. There we go. So the main synergy is based off of Gutierrez, right? Gutierrez gives the shield. That shield is what explodes based off of the pain rune, which is going to cause the stuns, which takes a lot of stress and a lot of damage off of your tanks and your healers, and lets you put out more damage because you're not in the back line getting messed with because everybody's stunned. So your survivability is higher. So Daniel doesn't benefit from any of that, right? But he still puts in the work. We can go ahead and run this challenge. I have to run them on manual. That's another thing that can cause a headache for people. You have to run them on manual because you need to make sure that he is getting benefit. His alt, like right now, his alt is up. You want to put it as far in as possible because you know that Crate is going to do his push stun right there, right? So you want to put it in as far as possible, right? And look, watch the numbers, right? He wasn't doing the numbers, but look at his numbers shoot up. Now he's causing stuns, he's causing damage, and he's doing work. He's just a remarkable character. He just does a lot. And my guy is nowhere near min-maxed. He has a lot of work that still needs to be done to him, even gear-wise. And look at the damage he's putting out. So he doesn't have a rune that benefits him. He doesn't have a commander that benefits him, but he's still putting out the DPS. And to me, it's just a remarkable character. You know, now if I go to a summon team and I rebuild it, the problem with if I take Gutierrez off the table, my Vanguard / tanks are going to take and access a lot more damage. I'll have a lot less stun. It'll be a lot more stress on my healers and tanks. So in this bit where Daniel can actually shine, even not with the commander not being synergized, right? The runes not being synergized, he's just a benefit to me. And I'm gonna push this extremely close. Not gonna get it, but you just see, you know, this is, you know, for you guys to see how good Daniel is. Daniel is a top tier triple S. I think him and Bailey are on the same page. Again, they provide the same ability pretty much throughout the match. You're getting a little more with Daniel, and when I get him higher, because we got Bailey at exclusive 30, so when I get him higher, I even expect more out of him. So we'll run Leo with Bailey just so you guys can see. We'll put him on the back line so he benefits from it. We'll take out Raph. She died early for whatever reason, but the reason I'm not putting Daniel in the back line is because Daniel won't be able to reach with his ult. So he's not going to benefit from Maserati right now, but Bailey will. So Bailey's exclusive 30. He's in monster gear. We'll look at it for the end of the video. Plus, he's getting a buff from Maserati right now, and he has the Gutierrez. So let's see. All right. So we get in there. Of course, Leo's doing work. You see those numbers just jump up. 10 mil already. All right. So right now we have the bubble. So I have to rearrange the line so that way Daniel isn't getting hit. Oof. So we'll do it that way. So only one healer should get hit by the little energy balls, which will take some stress off of the healers in the back line there. There you go. There goes the energy balls. We weren't bunched up. Now we'll shoot Daniel in. We're behind, right? We're behind on DPS. Let's see how it cranks up. Look how the DPS is cranking up from Daniel, right? Boom, 8 mil off one ult. And I'm telling you, he's not min-max. Bailey is up there. Bailey's gear is up there, right? He's out damaging Bailey. He's also providing stuns. He's providing everything that Bailey does, right? Plus, he's doing twice the damage. Almost probably going to do 3 times the damage by the end. Daniel's just a monster. So you got his summons out. You got the damage that he's putting out, 19 million to 9. Just a monster character. Just a monster character. So this is why I say, you know, different for each his own. For different accounts, you're going to get different, you know, people are going to say different things. Each account's going to be different based off of how you progressed it, where you put your exclusives at, which is really critical, so forth and so on. So for me, it's Daniel. Daniel's just a monster. I'm going to put this last exclusive. The next exclusive up is Leo. Leo's going to be finalized, and then I'm going straight into Daniel, and I'm going to push that damage into Daniel because I'm really curious to see what I can get out of him. This is how I have Bailey geared. For those that are interested, right? So 50-50 on rate, crit damage. And he's sitting at 84k attack power. So 50-50, 84k attack power, right? Max exclusive. And Daniel could hang with him easily, past him in damage. Like it wasn't even anything, you know what I'm saying? So this is why I say Daniel could be one of the best characters and probably the best damage dealer, triple S outside of Leo. Leo is Leo. Again, Leo's on the top tier. He's in the realm of his own. Stands alone. He absorbs damage, immunity, heals. Damage is a beast, but I digress. Daniel is a beast. Daniel's up there. I got a lot of work to do with him. I didn't put crits on him. All attack, 59 attack there. I'm really curious to see what he'll do with max exclusive. Really excited about that. When it comes to healers, I think the healers for itself, I got the new healer. I got one copy. I haven't really pushed, I haven't been pushing my account like I did in the past, you know, throwing it out there to get, so I'm slowly progressing my account now after I hit this point. So right now my two main healers are Serena and Maserati. To me, it's very situational with the two. You'll get in the story mode and there'll be spots where Maserati is just amazing. Twilight, Maserati is amazing, right? He provides so much, but his AoE healing and not the single target healing won't keep up a Vanguard in a situation. So I switch in Sarita to make sure it gets done, right? And then Sarita just does it without an issue. And I'm pretty sure, I think the new character's name is Bata. I'm pretty sure Bata will, you know, retire Sarita in that, you know, quote unquote way. You know, I think I fought her in PvP and she puts out heals, like real beastly single target heals. But Serena is a single target but provides AoE heal with her ult. She provides defense with her ult. So that all, when you have Leo on your team, when you have Crete, and I mentioned this before, when you have Leo and Crete who get damage boost off of defense as well, some of their skills, especially Crete, then when she ults, they're putting out more damage. It's more synergy, right? So it synergizes well. So in some instances, like I think it's in Twilight, when you're doing the Vanguard buff and you need to push out that damage or whatever it may be, Crete is going to benefit. Leo's going to benefit more as she's ulting. They're going to put out more work and it's going to synergize a lot better. Maserati, different breed. He's going to push out a lot of heals. He's going to, you know, overheal a lot, and that goes, you know, make sure that you should have on the rune flashpoint when dealing with Maserati, because now your excessive heals are going to be benefited through a shield, right? And that's going to all synergize because the shield is going to also work with the proton shield, which is going to work with the pain rune, which is now going to call stun. If you watched the match just a few seconds ago, however long ago, lots of stuns all over. You'll see the little halo and you'll see guys just spinning and stunning. That helps your healers. That helps your tanks because it takes people out of the fight, which causes less damage, which causes less stress on the healers, less stress on the tanks, which means your DPS needs to do the work to get it down. So definitely. When it comes to tearing them out, it's just hard to tear them from my account because I use them both in different ways just as much as each other. They're just as critical or just as important. When I do my 15s, my dungeon runs, I use Maserati because I'm getting them extra DPS. But at this point, I can almost 5-man DPS him, so he really is not going to shine in those situations. In a lot of the story mode and a lot of the Twilight, I double heal. You know, both of them are putting out AoE heals, and Serena's backing up with the single target heal. So with Bata, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people's accounts are going to progress if you're double healing Maserati and Bata because of the single target heals. I immortalize Serena real easy. I think that's one of the easiest characters besides Arthas to immortalize because they give out so many copies. So she is by far one of the best healers in the game. If I had to tier them for my account, I'd put them equal. Again, I use them in the same scenarios or different scenarios, but I use them just as much as each other. I'm not fond of Randall. I think he needs a buff. I think he needs to be able to put out a little more damage before he's even considered significant. I do have him decently geared. I had his exclusive at 13. Not too impressive. But just he's underwhelming to me. But between I haven't had the chance to really put work into Rakana. I've seen Rakana in PvP. He is it's a niche, right? Because he's pretty much useless until he ults. When he ults, he's going to normally take out one of your characters. There's a guy in the top 10 that uses him. I think his name is Schnuck or something like that. But he does so by hitting people with the ult. And if he survives and he ults you, he's normally going to take out a healer. But same thing could be said. I double heal. So once Bailey gets in the back line and Leo starts spinning, I'm gonna kill your healers anyway. So it's kind of a niche, you know, whether we want to put him in there or not. Free to play, I you know, would I take him over Randall? It's pretty difficult. It's difficult for me. Not 100% sure on that one. To me, Randall's very underwhelming, but he's one of the best non-Triple S assassins in the game. Sinway, I use Sinway a lot in my lineups. I like to put him in different lineups. As you progress the game and you were just working on specific areas, now you get to build out different teams. I think I've posted my different teams on different videos of Sinway and Terradome because he's useful in Terradome where he can jump inside his summon inside the circle. With the new summon rune and the summon commander, his stock goes up. He becomes even more efficient. Sinway, Kaz, now they have the Rise of Heroes. Really take advantage of your Rise of Heroes. You can build these characters out. It's pretty much free to do so. You know, Kaz is a beast. He puts out a lot of damage. He's very well-rounded character. He's kind of squishy in that instance, but he does decent amount of damage. I really like Nagrama. Squishy as well, but Nagrama can put a good amount of damage out if the situation is right for him. I'm not too fond. He isn't my favorite character as far as energy wise. Of course, Rav is, but he does do well if you can put him in a position where he remains safe. He really shines. So in my non-triple S's, the most I use in my non-triple S's, especially in Twilight, would be Nagrama, and I use Sinway a lot in there also. This goes without saying. Emma is one of the best characters in the game. 74k attack there. Her exclusive is at 25. Best hunter in the game by far. You need single target damage. She's the one that's going to give it to you. You just got to pay attention in different areas of the game where she would shine at. A lot of story mode you get to where there's tanks that you're just not going to get down. So you need her in there to start melting those guys down. So as you fade out and kill off the rest of the team, she'll help you with the tanks, and she'll help you finish the tanks in a timely manner. Of course, in Twilight, she shines. Dessa Caves, she's useless in Terra, but in March she can also put out the damage that's needed to get bosses down, guild bosses. Emma is in a league of her own as far as single target damage, probably the best single target damager in the game. So when you put her, so it's rough with her, right? I would personally, if I can get through 15s, right, without Emma, I would level Daniel before I level Emma. Because in my story modes, I'm going to get more out of him. In my soul mines, I'm gonna get more out of him, because that area damage, the stuns, so forth and so on, is going to do a lot more. But if I'm struggling through 15s, Emma is the queen of 15s, right? And when we look at Twilight as well, she is the queen of Twilight when it comes to single damage, especially when you're looking at the Hunter buff. But I can get around the Hunter buff by doing the Vanguard or whatever it may be. Then I would definitely level Daniel first. Daniel's just bringing more to the table as far as, in my opinion, AoE damage, so forth and so on. I can use him in Dessa Cave because his bear is going to count as ticks, which are going to count as damage shield. Damage hits, so it's going to bring the shield down. So I would definitely, in my opinion, for my account, I would go Daniel over Emma if I have the 15s on farm. This man here, I loved him as a character, one of my favorites, really, as a summoner. But their stock dropped almost to zero when Daniel was born, right? I got some good equipment on him. I got him the exclusive 22. I was really using them, but man, Daniel just outshines him in I wouldn't say every aspect, because he still can be used, but he's not providing a stun. And stuns are what help you progress. Stuns are critical in this game when you're doing story modes, soul mines, even PvP. So I like Hattie's buff. So if there's a long boss and I need to survive and my team is taking tons of damage and they're dying fast, I can throw Hattie in there and get that defensive buff and that damage buff, and he can really, really, really help you progress as far as long bosses. But there's not many long bosses in the game that you need all that survivability. I used him early in Marsh, and he helped me get through March 15 because that defensive buff was stacking and my team was taking damage, but he was able to help me fight through it, help relieve some of the damage for the healers to heal, and help me get through March. So Hattie used to be, medium tier for me, but at this point, he's on the bottom for me. I don't see me using him much unless it's a summoner situation. Besides that, I'm going to use Daniel. Daniel just is going to outshine him in a lot of different ways. I can put Daniel in the back. Daniel's summons get attacked, and he takes no damage, where Hattie summons gets attacked, he takes damage, he can die from it. It's just different things like that. One hit on Daniel can kill him, but it can kill one of his summons instead of him, and then he's still back, he's still in the fight. So as much as I love Hattie as a character, I love what he brings to the table. Daniel just outshines him for me. In my account, I almost don't even use him anymore unless it's specific to summoner at this point, or if it's really, really long bosses, then I might put him in there in the game. Creep, one of the best at what he does. He's a tank slash Vanguard. He can do damage if the situation is right. If the situation permits, he can do a ton of damage. The problem is, now that I have new characters and I'm bunching, a lot of damage is considered or is done through AoE. You want a lot of AoE damage being pushed through your characters so they can take down as many mobs as possible as fast, so you can continue to progress your account. When he does his push and he pushes characters out of the way, it causes a lot of problem to me. I try to have to predict where, okay, it's a possibility he may push the mob this way, or he even may move one mob out of the group. And now you're stuck. Oh, I gotta hurry up and try to make up the damage to try to kill, X, and it may cause you to wipe that turn. So I love Creed. I love him as a character. When he does it, when he is on and he pushes people together and he's defensing down and he's doing damage, he is amazing. One of the best in the business. But when he messes you over by pushing the crowd in the wrong direction, it causes a ton of problems. If you don't have Leo, Creed's the way to go. Creed is going to progress your account. He's going to help you through story mode. As you can see in mine, you know, he died, but in the intern, he was able to really get me to where I needed to go. I threw a shield set on him. I like the shield set on him. Extra strength on the shields. Again, the synergy is shields in my group, in my team. So I threw the shield set on him. He's at 27. I really was pushing him hard because he was carrying my account. Doing a lot of damage, so forth and so on. 2.6 HP, and I have, which the most important stat on him to me is damage reduction. So we have him around 70, 80, a little bit over 80% damage reduction. You want to get as much damage reduction as possible, but he's a beast. He you know, not to downplay him, but he's far underneath. He's no Leo, you know, as far as Vanguards go, but he is the second best Vanguard in the game easily. If you don't have Leo and you have Creed, do invest in him. I'm not telling you not to invest in him. He's worth investing in if you're trying to progress your account. But if you have a chance at Leo and you're working toward Leo, do not waste your resources on Creed if you have the Leo. Leo is going to push you further with the immunity to death and the spin. You can manually spin and keep the crowd where you want it to go, and if you can keep him spinning in the crowd and they keep aggro to him, you'll get a lot more worth, or a lot more survivability and worth out of him than you would do Creed, because Creed's going to do that push, and that push can make or break your turn. So, and the push isn't manual, but his AoE's hammer down is, and that's the difference with them. I definitely would put Leo far above him, but if I do not have a tank, he's better. To me, they're, you know, the Vanguards are far better than tanks. I haven't really built out any tanks, so the only triple S tank I definitely haven't built them out, as you see, because the Vanguards do exactly what he does but better. So there's no point in me building them out at this point. I'm working on Rez. Understand that Rez is a monster. Rez is a monster character. Especially if you're fighting a long boss and you just want people to AoE, then definitely go Rez. And you don't even need to have him as, you know, he doesn't need to be immortal. I have him as legendary. And it was one of the bosses I would shoot. I would alt him into Rav and just have her all over and over and over and over and over. And, you know, she put up crazy amounts of numbers. He doesn't in PvP. He needs to be. I don't see him in any top PvP. He's very squishy. But if you can keep him bouncing around and alive and keep alting whoever you need to alt, you'll get a lot out of your character. Even if it's the healer, if you want to spam heals, then you just put him in the same row with the healer and he'll spam the healing row, or you can do it manually. But if you're spamming the healer, he's going to push out a ton of heals, just remarkable heals. If it's DPS, I had him one where I had him with Leo and I had him just, you know, I would manually do it. Leo would spin, I would shoot the ult. Leo would spin, I would shoot the ult. And most of the time, Leo will get what he needs anyway, as far as energy build in the process of, but I just shoot him. I shoot him, he ult again, shoot him, I shoot, and it was amazing. And he just spins back and forth. So if you get in a instance to where the whole enemy team just focuses on Leo, you can definitely do that, and Rez will come into play. Rez is a top tier support, one of the best. I don't use him commonly on my account, but I use him enough to where, you know, it's an honorable mention. Lauren as a healer, very underwhelming, so to say. Exclusive isn't high. I got him at 16. I can go ahead and push him to 20. Why not? I use him in different areas. Second teams in Twilight. Your team gets wiped. You need a healer. You bring Lauren in. You know, try to clean up that boss or do as much damage as possible before the next reset. Lauren's a decent character. He doesn't, to me, he's just not on par with my guys. Maybe if I invested in him a little harder and all that. He decent gears. We do have him in a full HP set, healing set. Only 1.5 HP, which, you know, that's very underwhelming. You want to have it at least 2 mil. Right now she's at 1.9. I need to get, go through my sets again and see if I can get her above. And I think he's at 2.1. So you definitely want him around the 2 mil for them to actually shine, because the HP is based off of. But you're getting, I've sacrificed the second half of HP. I had him at maybe 2.1, 2.2, but I sacrificed it for the 35% heals. It just feels like I get more heals out of it. So that's the way I go there. But it is what it is. If that's your only healer, then gear him out, get him do what he do. But he's not going to be anywhere on par with Lauren, Soretta and Maserati. If I get into a fight, or if I'm in Twilight and there's a ton of AoE damage, I may bring Lauren in with Maserati to combine the AoE healing, and I may get through the instance that way. Same thing with story mode. I may bring him in if I need tons and tons of AoE healing because everybody's taking damage. Then I may bring him in there and pick and choose where I need him at. But he doesn't play a main role in any of my builds whatsoever. So hunter bosses, things like that, stacking defense. Bot Mark 2 is very, very good at what he does. I don't have him built out well at all. I'll throw him in the game when I need him. He's a picking, he's a spot. He's spotty for me. If I need Hunter, then of course I throw him in there. I built non-triple S teams to see how good he is. He is a monster. He does stack a defensive debuff with his ult that is very, very beneficial. And synergizes well with other hunters like Emma, Tony the Tiger. But it is what it is. He isn't significant in my role. Tony the Tiger is significant for Terra Dome. Any hunter bosses, whatever, he plays his role. He's always been there. I only put him in exclusive 20 because he gets outshined by some of the others as far as damage goes. So I don't put him in a lot of my lineups, but when I need him, he does shine. Multiple hits for my 15 and Dessa Caves. I think he's still on my 15 team. I might try Bot Mark in there with my main team to see how much damage he does. But that's pretty much my account in a nutshell. Make sure you guys are doing your Rise of Heroes daily. Take advantage of the Rise of Heroes. I think it's one of the best events for free to play as far as building out characters, because at the end of every Rise of Heroes, you're almost definitely having a character if your account can get through the bosses. So I highly recommend that you stay consistent with Rise of Heroes. The first Rise of Heroes with the Grama, easy. You see, easy immortalized. Sinway, easy immortalized. And now Kaz, I had Kaz immortalized before because Kaz was on a lot of the banners as a secondary. I'm not too fond of Kaz. I think he's decent. He does decent amount of damage, but my account is where I just don't really need him. He isn't my best summoner. He doesn't do the damage that Daniel does, so forth and so on. So as far as tanks, and we'll wrap it up with my tanks. Boar was my main tank for a long time before I got Creep. I really like Boar. I think he does an amazing job at at his role. I just don't think that he's on par with the Vanguards. There's not many tanks in the game, and there's only one triple S that I'm aware of. So I like Boar. Sometimes I will manual his ult so the purple doesn't fill up, but he was a pretty good tank. Got me through early story mode. Right now, I really, to be honest with you, my tanks, I really don't use them. So if it's altar or anything like that where it's multiple teams that I need, I'll throw a tank in there. But for the most part, the tanks are insignificant as far as their roles, because Crate and Leo just outperform them in every aspect, right? So that's my account right now. That's my tier list. I ran along, but I just wanted to go over how I built, what I think the best characters are for me. So Leo is definitely in a class of itself, in my opinion. Bailey, Maserati. That's about it. Daniel, those are the top characters for my account. I really enjoy playing with them. Daniel has become very, very fun. I really enjoy playing with Daniel. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll show you more of his progress and maybe do a spotlight. But I think I covered him well here to show you just how how good he is. Hit that like and subscribe. If you made it this far, I appreciate you listening to me. Come have some fun, man. Comment. Let me know what you think. I appreciate your time. You have a good day. Peace.